So damn okay is guys that made you say damn okay.
Yeah, say damn okay, okay? I mean...
I swore.
Oh, that doesn't count. Damn doesn't count. Damn does not count. Okay. That's like Sunday service swear. That doesn't matter, okay?
Yeah, my 5-year-old's already saying it. It's not that
yeah, right. You're just a wimp. I don't know what else to say.
No, you're rubbing off on me.
I'm rubbing off?
Swearing, I'm cursing. Yeah, I'm kind of turning into a bad man.
No, you're not. You're totally not. Did you go to Sunday service yesterday?
Yeah, I was there.
You did?
Okay. Early. I get there early, 15 minutes early.
So if you're going to go next week 15 minutes early, let's say a cuss word right now, okay? And so then you can ask for forgiveness on Sunday.
I have reason to go.
I am going to get you to say before the year's over, okay?
Okay, all right. It can happen.
All right. What up, everybody? Chris Sims, Ahmed Fareed. What up, man? How are you?
Let's do it. Good. I'm good.
Yeah.
So I just got done. We've been doing Rugby World Cup here.
Yeah. You feeling good?
My
Tired?
voice is going. Yeah.
Right.
I was I'm jet lagged.
Right.
So the tournament's in Japan.
Yeah.
And we've been doing it from here in Connecticut.
Yes.
But still, we're on Japan time. So I haven't left Connecticut, but I'm jet lagged.
Right.
So it's like I can't fall asleep
anymore. You're having insomnia.
My voice is like, I don't know if it made my voice worse or better.
No.
We'll
I mean,
find
your voice
out,
sounds good. It sounds a little more mysterious now. You're the mystery man.
There it is.
But what's up, everybody? Week 6, NFL, good week, crazy week. I mean, geez, it really was. I mean, whether you go into the Panthers over in London, the Seahawks-Browns game was crazy.
Everything
was pretty damn good. And
even Washington and Miami was
right.
good.
And I mean, I tried not to waste my time to watch that other than just looking over when there was a major play or anything like that. It was great to be able to digest all the 1 o'clock games yesterday because of the London game and because of the Dolphins-Redskins game, that means there was only 5 games to watch at 1 o'clock, okay? So that made it a lot more enjoyable instead of having my head spin around everywhere. We're going to get in a deep dive session, okay? Rams, 49ers, total deep dive there. Texans, Chiefs, total deep dive there. I think those were the 2 surprise games of the day. Maybe, I don't know. I think the Jets-Cowboys probably surprised people more than anybody, especially me. But those were 2 marquee matchups, and we will get into that. But I think the 2 upsets of the day were certainly Cowboys losing the Jets. Never saw that happening.
No.
And I'm so pissed on Sunday Night Football last night. I took the Chargers. I broke my own rule. I made it all about the quarterback. Oh, Phillip Rivers is better than Devlin Hodges. I'm going to take him like a idiot. I gave all these warning signs.
Yeah.
I said that I was worried about them getting steamrolled up front. And there I was, 14-0, texting my producer, Matt Casey, going, I'm so stupid. I can't believe you let me make that pick.
The only one.
I blamed it on him.
The only one who picked it was Tony.
Tony picked it. And I was really waffling before. They heard me waffling. And, gosh, it really makes me mad. So now I'm 1-6 or 1-5. I suck.
We'll get into it. We'll get into every. We're going to touch on every game.
Good.
We want to give at least a minute to every single game.
Let's touch every game.
The two deep dives of Rams, 49ers, which I have a lot of thoughts on. Texans, Chiefs as well. But you want to start out with Eagles and Cowboys, both those teams. That go down.
Right.
They're facing upcoming here. And
Sunday Night Football matchup this week. Yeah,
I was not aware of this, but we were told by our producer Pete.
Right.
That Doug Pederson's coming out throwing some fire.
Of course, I mean, it's what he does. Let's hear it.
I know the sky's falling outside.
Yes.
You know, it's falling, and I get that, and the fans are reeling just a little bit. But you know, we're going down to Dallas, and our guys are going to be ready to play, and we're going to win that football game. And when we do, we're in first place in the NFC East. We control our own destiny. We're right where we need to be.
Whoa! We're going to go out and win that football game.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think?
That wasn't even the question. It wasn't like, well, do you think you can go out and win? Yeah, we think we can win. He went out of his way to guarantee that he's going to go and win that football game. Clearly, to me, what that indicates is this team needs something like that right now.
Right.
They need their head coach to go out there and breathe some fire and motivate them. I don't know that they were unmotivated against the Vikings. I just think they played a really good game, beating them 38-20. But he seems to feel like his team needs a little fire right now.
Well, he's a confident guy. He's never been scared to be bold or, go for it on 4th downs. That's what he does. Yeah, his team needs a little jump start right now. I mean, it wasn't pretty yesterday as far as the way they played in Minnesota. He's brash. He's been like that since he's taken over. It's why he's one of the best head coaches in all of football. And, they're going to have their hands full. I mean, this has become a huge game. I mean, it really does. It's got...
For both teams.
For both teams, yes. And not to say, like, whoever loses is out of it, because you're not going to be, of course. But what really the Cowboys and Eagles are in danger of doing is, especially right now with the state of the NFC and how many good football teams there are, they're not getting in as wild card winners.
You have to win that division.
You're going to have to win the division to go to the playoffs. And, of course, this is a head-to-head matchup that will go a long way into dictating who gets there. And I think it'll be a good game. Both teams have kind of been underwhelming the last few weeks and all over the place.
Let's talk about the Eagles real quick. What concerns you the most about them? I think Carson Wentz looked actually pretty good against the Vikings.
Right.
They gave up 300-plus yards passing for the 4th time this season.
Yes.
They gave up 100 yards rushing for the first time this year. That's against Cook and the Vikings. So that's, I mean, a lot of teams do
Well, they're
that.
compromised right now. They're compromised because their secondary is banged up and they stink. They got no Avonte Maddox. They got no Ronald Darby. They got guys like Rasul Douglas outside playing man-to-man. And he's like the kind of corner, Ahmed, that should be like, when he was on the Patriots, he covered tight ends. He wasn't covering Stephon Diggs on an island outside. So that's an issue. Their other corner, Sidney Jones, has been a career injury. I mean, that's what he's been ever since his personal workout before the draft. So he's just coming back from injury once again. He's not ready to play man-to-man. So they're compromised, and the reason that the Minnesota Vikings had some success running the ball on that stout defense is because Jim Schwartz is having to do some things at times to protect the secondary that way, because as you saw in the game yesterday, when they do leave those guys man-to-man and stuff like that, they're toast. They're burnt toast. There was black. There's nothing you can do to scrape off the burnt part, okay?
Yeah, on that 51-yard touchdown to Diggs, there was 4 yards of separation at the time of throw between Douglas and Diggs.
Yes, and now there was a mix-up there, certainly. I don't know whether they were trying to play cover. The corners seemed like they thought it was covered, too.
It was play action. It seemed like everyone went to Cook on that one.
Yes, it did. It definitely did. But you need to be concerned in Philadelphia right now. That's an issue for them altogether. And this will be a tough matchup once again. Now, the grace of God has struck upon them because Amari Cooper got hurt. So that'll make them feel a little bit better about their matchups on the outside to maybe help stop that running game. But, still, they missed Deshaun Jackson. You might have heard me say this. I can't remember if I said this with you on here or Paul on here. Doug Pederson, he's a great head coach. As far as offensive coordinator is concerned, I don't put him in the class as that upper echelons. He's like that next group of guys down. And he needs, I've always kind of said they're more about their players than their plays. I don't look at Eagles games and go, oh my gosh, I've never seen plays like this before. He's got everything you want. The offense is really good, don't get me wrong. But within the offense, there's built-in spots where, if we get this coverage on this play, look for Deshaun Jackson deep. And he's not there right now. And that's a big thing for them. It's like, hey, this is Doug Pederson. He came from the Andy Reid school. I mean, when Tyreek Hill's not there and Sammy Watkins aren't there, the Kansas City Chiefs are not as good. And it's hurting them right now that they don't have Deshaun Jackson because they don't really have that guy that scares you to death down the field.
Do you feel better about the Vikings now? Obviously, it's 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
It's like squeaky wheel gets the grease for 2
both
games
of
in a
them.
row.
Right.
Thielen week 1 or this past week, and then Diggs just on Sunday. 167 yards, 3 touchdowns for Diggs, and Cousins threw the ball deep. They threw the ball deeper than any team in the NFL in week 6.
Yeah, no, they've been more aggressive. I think that's the big thing. They haven't run the ball just to say, we're going to keep running the ball. I think when they've gotten the optimal looks to go, okay, the run doesn't work here. Let's check to the pass or call a pass in the huddle, whatever it may be. They're doing that, and I do give Kevin Stefanski and Gary Kubiak and even Mike Zimmer, who's probably been in their ear about run the ball, to give them a little more leeway as far as the pass game's concerned. And again, this is something we talked about when they were kind of hot early on. They have an interesting combination if they can continue to do this, because if they can run the ball and be aggressive in the pass game, you pick your poison there. You want to stop Dalvin Cook? Okay. You want to play one-on-one football on the outside with Diggs and Thielen? Well, okay. You're seeing that they can connect down the field, and that's where they're dangerous, let alone a good defense on top of that.
The NFC North is so tough.
Oh, my gosh.
I know the NFC West is really tough, but top to bottom, the NFC North is really good.
Yeah, you got 4 playoff teams in that. I mean, they're legitimate. I mean, maybe the Lions are one of those teams we're not ready to say a playoff team, but I wouldn't be shocked if they're in that conversation as the season goes on. And, and then you said it. The West is certainly very good, too. And that's why we're talking about this Eagles-Cowboys game, because of those teams you're talking about, in the North and the West. And then you talk about the Panthers and the Saints in the South. You go, no, the East is only getting one team this year for the most part, unless something just unforeseen happens to a few of these teams, or injuries or something like that, and they kind of fall off.
It could still be the Cowboys, although they've dropped to 3-3 now with 3 straight losses. They got beat by the Jets 24-22. Adam Gase gets his first win with New York. Sam Darnold was back.
Right.
I thought he looked really
good. Yeah, he's a difference maker. The first thing they missed, again, we got to remember the last few weeks, they weren't on their backup quarterback. They were on their third string quarterback. There's a difference there. Third stringers, for lack of a better phrase, they usually suck. I don't know the way to say it. And they're not going to do.
The backups usually are.
The backups are exactly right. That's what I mean. So the third stringers are usually guys that are like camp arms, and he's a practice squad guy, and we like him because he's smart, just in case there's danger, and we put him in. People at least will know where to line up. But they don't do anything to back defenses off, and that's really where they missed. Sam Darnold. And then Trevor Siemian, who is a pretty good thrower, but Luke Falk really could not scare a defense down the field in any capacity. And you said it before we went on. You were like, man, Sam Darnold's so good in the pocket. And you're right. It's really probably his greatest strength.
Yeah.
He is phenomenal in the pocket. And against that Dallas Cowboy pass rush yesterday, him sliding, moving, making the proper throws, it gave their team confidence. And, yeah, Dallas was disappointing. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I just did not expect Dallas's defense to kind of let up the plays that they let up in that football game.
Yeah, it's interesting when you look at the downfield game with Sam Darnold as opposed to not having him. I was looking it up. The total air yards, which is the amount of time the air travels
interested to hear what this is.
Through the air for the first, they've had a bye.
Right.
But in the NFL, the Jets, before this game, were far and away the last team. 215 air yards in their first 4 games.
Wow.
And for a little comparison, that's last in the league.
Yeah.
Dallas is number 1 with over 1,000 before yesterday.
I can believe that.
They just did not pass the ball down the field at all.
Right.
So it's almost like that neutered offense became unneutered against the Cowboys. But as you mentioned, the Cowboys still had a chance. They came back second week in a row. The offense has turned it on after they've fallen behind early. So some good things there. Didn't get the 2-point conversion. Jamal Adams came through untouched there. Greg Williams, I think, good play call by him.
Yep. Well, and that's even disappointing on the 2-point conversion, just by the Dallas offense. Why we're on that theme right there. You're facing Greg Williams. Okay, you better expect blitz. That's what Greg Williams does. When there's a big situation, he is gonna pressure, and that's where I looked at that play call and I was like, what? We don't do something a little bit more there? I mean, just hey, Jason Witten, step in the end zone and turn around. Oh, okay, that's really hard for the guy that's compromised and has to cover a guy all over the field. Whoa, he just can sit there and play basketball against him basically in the post. So that was certainly an issue. I just think the Cowboys' inability to sustain drives. It seemed like the passing game was off a little bit. I thought Prescott was off a little bit to a degree as well. Not being able to finish drives and having to kick field goals was an issue. They didn't get maybe some of the big plays we've seen them get to start the year. And, again, really, you felt like the Jets were in control of the game for the most part until the very, very end. And I said this morning. Ezekiel Elliott, I know people are going to look at it and go, 28 for 105. Okay, I mean, that's less than 4 yards per carry. And the other thing I would just say to that is I have not been thrilled with the way he's looked to this point. Again, he's really good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say this guy's not a special running back. He is. But, the explosive, he needs to start running sprints again is what I need to say.
You think missing camp has hurt him?
I think missing camp has certainly hurt him. And I do feel like he looks like he's a step slow. I have no fear of Ezekiel Elliott if I'm a defense anymore. His rookie year and early in his second year, he was a home run hitter. He could go 70 yards on a screen or take it around the edge and you go, oh, there he goes, 80-yard touchdown. Holy cow, look at this big sucker run. Now if he goes 30 yards, I'm like, oh, okay, that's about all he's got. And I don't know what to say about that. But as far as pure straight ahead explosiveness, he's not on the same level as Dalvin Cook, Leonard Fournette, Nick Chubb, Christian McCaffrey, some of those guys, some of the 49ers guys, Todd Gurley, Phillip Lindsay, Breida the Cheetah, Alvin Kamara, David Johnson. Yeah, when they have a lane and they can hit 6th gear. And right now I think Ezekiel only has 5 gears.
Yeah, one guy who can for the Cowboys, Amari Cooper, got hurt early in the game.
Yeah, that's big.
They didn't play with Collins on the line, Tyron Smith on the line. So it's boring to talk about. You don't want to make excuses, but it's true. It's true. It's like there's a reason why these are some of the highest paid players in the NFL. They're really good, and if you don't have them, it's a problem.
Yeah, well, as we'll get into when we got into last week, Kansas City, when you're missing big weapons that you're paying a lot of money, of course your team's not going to be good.
Yeah.
Well, these are big weapons to the Cowboys. They're tackles. They're paying a lot of money to them. They expect to dominate and run for more than 4 yards per carry in a football game. And, yeah, not only that, but then you add into the fact of, like, oh, you're playing Greg Williams like we talked about and the blitzes and all of that. You know, it's hard to get that continuity and that communication between 5 guys up front when 2 of the guys, you know, haven't been part of that communication process for the most part during the season.
One more note, the quarterback who was most aggressive throwing into tight windows for week number 6.
Okay, let me guess first. Okay, can I guess first? Yep. Okay. Most aggressive
throwing into tight windows. Yeah, threw into tight windows more than any other quarterback in this week.
Well, I mean, I feel like since you're on that game, it's Sam Darnold. Okay,
it is.
Okay,
yeah, I kind of gave it away. Right?
Yes. Well, you know,
I just loved his game. I just think it was really fun. I mean, the 92-yard touchdown to Robbie Anderson was a well-thrown ball.
He is a pinpoint intermediate short pass thrower. So he is not scared if a DB is glued on a wide receiver. He's got enough confidence to go, no, I can put the ball right here.
Yeah.
Like, I know I want to throw it right here, but I see that guy's arm there. I can put it there or there for that guy to get it.
I heard someone say that Adam Gase maybe didn't open up the full playbook, and I guess you don't with a backup or a backup's backup.
Well, it's hard, but he's managing a game.
Right, and he didn't want to show anything because it might not work, you know, without Sam Darnold. I don't know how many more plays they could go to with him than they did without him.
I mean, I just think as a play caller, when you have a guy like Luke Falk who has, you know, not a lot of physical talent, you're not going to dial up plays that you would dial up with Sam Darnold because you're going to be like, oh, this is going to be a disaster. Yeah. It's going to be an interception or, you know, you just don't know what's going to happen in those situations. So it totally changes the game when you have a quarterback like a Sam Darnold or a true franchise quarterback, because now Adam Gase, you know, has the guts to design some things that he might have not designed in previous weeks.
Jets, big win, first win of the year.
Yeah,
beating the Cowboys.
Jets.
Can I give you some credit here? I know you don't like that normally.
Yeah.
You normally are more self-deprecating. You're more comfortable in that realm.
I am.
You know,
yes. Well, I get angry when I self-scout thyself.
Yes. But so that means we got to pump you up, though. You need to celebrate the victories.
Okay, I'll take it.
I tell that to my family all the time.
Okay.
I was like, if you're going to beat yourself up when you're wrong, you have to celebrate the victories.
Right.
And so we're going to celebrate a victory. Washington and Miami. This is what you said before the game.
Miami coming off the bye week, though, I do think you'll see a last-ditch effort. They're going to have some belief that maybe they can pull this game off, but I'm with you. I'm going a little closer than that. I'm going to say the Redskins squeak it out, 17-16 down in Miami, but find the way to win the football game nonetheless.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Nailed it.
To
the point.
Nothing like nailing the most irrelevant game of the NFL season.
And we cut it off, too, when you say Rosen will be pulled, Fitz will come in, they'll drive down the field,
miss a two-point conversion. I said all of those things. You're right.
It was too long. We couldn't air that.
I couldn't really hear anything there because I was too busy watching the cold sore on the side of my lip there. Oh. My herpes. Not cool, okay?
It's cleared up, though.
It has cleared up.
You look a lot better this week.
Thanks a lot. I know. I was ugly last week.
I tried to make you feel good last week, but it was pretty glaring, to be honest with you.
Honestly, though, I was 3-0 in my bets last week, and I was proud of that, okay?
Oh, wow.
My big bets. Like, we have to pick 3 games out of all the picks.
Yeah.
And
people may take your advice, and so you feel like you got.
Well, I always want to tell people to like listen to my analyzing of the game. I know, like somebody on social media got mad at me a few weeks ago because I picked the Packers to beat the Eagles. And I said, Aaron Rodgers will score a touchdown really late in the game. It'll be close. It's a coin flip type of game.
Yeah.
Oh, they got to the 1-yard line and didn't score, and people are like, you're a idiot. The Eagles won. And I was like, okay, great. So I know I'm not going to be right with the picks all the time, but, you know, I do study. And if you want to take things away from what I say, you know, I took New Orleans as a 1-point underdog against Jacksonville. So that was a shocker. And, of course, that was one of my bets of the week. I rode the Patriots, even though they didn't really play that well. 35-14, right?
It was 17-point spread.
I know, so I rode that. I got lucky with that one. And then my other one I took the Texans to beat the Chiefs straight up. Wow. 31-27, and that was 31-24. So that was close. I am proud of those ones.
That was a good week.
That was a good week. I was 7-1 at the start of the 4 o'clock games. And then I lost every game from there on out.
If only you could turn around your record on Football Night in America.
Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good.
You're not alone.
The only thing is America can't bag on me too hard because America's only got me beat by 1 game.
Yeah, right.
So I'm 1-5. They're over. I'm 1-6. They're 2-5. It's not much better.
What do you want to pull out of this Washington-Miami game real quick? They bench Rosen, although Flores says that Rosen's still the starter. He just took him out because he wasn't playing very well.
Yeah, I don't take a whole lot. I think the big thing is, with Bill Callahan as the head coach, you're going to see that they're going to run the ball more, obviously. I mean, Adrian Peterson's still amazing what he's doing at this age. I mean, yeah, he's not the Adrian Peterson we knew from 5-6 years ago. I mean, that was one of the greatest running backs we've ever seen in the history of the planet. But still, he's very effective. Bill Callahan's one of the best O-line coaches of football, so he's going to play that kind of style of football. That Terry McLaurin's special, that receiver they got from Ohio State, number 17.
2 touchdowns.
And the Dolphins suck. I don't know other way to say it.
They're not good.
They're one of the worst teams I've ever seen. And, I feel bad for Josh Rosen because, it's going to be hard to evaluate whoever starts for them.
Well, yeah.
It really is. There's not good pass protection. They have no run game. The offensive coordinator's still finding his way. So there's a lot of issues there in Miami. I give them a lot of credit for fighting back, though.
Coming into the week, Josh Rosen had the highest percentage of dropped passes in the NFL.
There you go.
At 9.5%. However,
right.
He also had the second highest percentage of poor throws in the NFL, according to some guy who watches a game and writes them down.
Yeah, well, no, I don't think that's necessarily bad either. Now, the poor throw thing, is he a little too aggressive at times? Yes. It's easy to throw the ball poor, too, when somebody's about to hit you in your
totally.
ribs every time, too, where you're about to go like, oh, I might break a rib here. Let me throw this in there. But they're really in a bad spot. They are not a good football team. And, man, I just hope they can find a way to win one game this year. That's really all I'm rooting for.
They're 0-5. Guess how many minutes Miami has had a lead all year? They've played 5 games. How many minutes have they led in the football game?
I feel like I know this because I heard Tirico in the control room before the bye week. They took a 6-3 lead, right? I'm going to say 2 minutes.
3 minutes, 49 seconds.
And was it the Cowboy game? What game was it?
Yeah.
You don't even know? You're just going to come in and throw shit out, and then you don't even know. It was a good stat. It was a good stat. Let's see. Oh, it might have been the Charger game. Pete just got in my ear, and I think he's right. I think it might have been the Charger game. They were up, and I'm going to look and know this just for sure, just so we can throw this out there. But, yes.
3 minutes and 49 seconds.
They were up 7-3.
There you go.
In the first quarter against the Chargers, and then the Chargers went down and scored a touchdown, and it was 10-7. And then it was 10-10. They were actually tied for a little bit. And then
that's right.
That was night-night.
It was our because they took a lead. We were like,
right.
okay,
You're right.
Miami.
You're right.
You took a lead for 3 minutes and 49 seconds.
3 minutes and 49 seconds. Okay, so we're done talking about that game?
Yeah.
We probably spent 2 minutes too long.
No, I think that was good.
That was good? Okay.
We give even if you're unwinned.
Yeah.
Even if you're unwinned. Not undefeated, unwinned.
Unwinned.
We'll talk about you.
I like that. Unvictoried.
Unvictoried. We'll still talk about it.
Okay, let's start that. All right, I got a read to do because this guy, the man, the myth, the legend, the great Mike Tirico, okay? I mean, this guy is a joy to work with, first of all, whether it's at Notre Dame or Sunday Night Football, all over the NFL. I mean, Mike is a phenomenal mind. He knows the sport, which I don't mean to downgrade any play-by-play caller, but I would bet you his X's and O knowledge of football is about as good as anybody out there because of all his years with John Gruden. So he's phenomenal there. His relationships, he's got inside sources, and his podcast is pretty good too. He's got a new podcast out today, Football Night in America, Week 6 recap with Tony, Rodney, and that mother freaker Florio, okay? And here's a bit of this week's convo. They discussed the 49ers win over the Rams, and if the Los Angeles Rams miss Todd Gurley. Listen to this.
I talked to a few players that played against Todd Gurley, and they're just simply saying that he's no longer that threat. He's just an average back. They believe that when he gets the ball, he's an average back.
Damn.
Ooh, average back. Well, I mean,
if
he might be hobbled, and if he's got a bad knee, then that turns you into an average back pretty quick.
He's certainly not in the superstar elite right now. So there's no doubt about that.
So let's go deep dive. Your first deep dive, and this is the first deep dive we've had all year where you've gone 3 pages.
I know, right?
So you normally go 2.
Yeah.
We have 3 pages of Rams versus 49ers.
There's just a lot of interesting things. I probably write stuff that I don't really need to write all the time, but this is an interesting matchup.
So let's start with the Rams offense here.
Right.
And there are questions once again with Jared Goff, 78 yards, career low.
Yes.
Obviously that's some him.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably some offensive line.
Yeah, a lot of.
No Todd Gurley. That didn't help either.
Right.
So what did you see? What are the main things afflicting the Rams offense right now when you go to the deep dive?
Yeah, okay. All right. So if I really had to simplify it, first off is it's not Jared Goff's fault. Let me just say that. Let's get that right out of the way. I mean,
none of it?
I'm not going to sit here and go, there was one flaw in Jared Goff's game yesterday that I would say, okay? There was some opportunities to throw some 10-yard out routes, things toward the sideline where he played the concept, and I want to go, ooh, just throw the 10-yard out, throw the 15-yard comeback. Don't mess around with the concept and all this nonsense over here of 49ers guys flying all over the place and, let me see if I can squeeze it in there, or let me pat the ball to wait for that guy to get open, and then I get killed behind, the tree trunks of the San Francisco 49ers. But ultimately, this is the issue. The 49ers defensive line is special. It's special. And I've been saying this, and it's just continuing to show itself on a week-to-week basis. They got great talent. They got great versatility. They got great depth. And they can just send people at you in waves. And they absolutely kick the shit out of the Rams' offensive line. There's no other way to say it. I don't care. Listen, it would have been tough sledding if it was Rodgers, Watson, Mahomes, Russell Wilson. It would have been tough sledding. The pocket was collapsing. They lose their guard, no boom. At some point, maybe it was a late second quarter, whatever. And not to say he's a world beater as it is anyways. And then they have to go to, I can't remember who it was. I want to say Denby, 64 Denby. But they were truly compromised with that. And that was the first thing. So
how they do the first drive? They just ran it right down their throats.
Every play. They ran zone, cutbacks. Sean McVay called a fake toss, and then he handed it off like on a quick almost reverse to Robert Woods, and then he actually ran a reverse to Robert Woods for the touchdown. Hey, it's the first drive of the game. You can never put too much stock into the first drive of the game.
Why do you say that?
Well, the offense has got it scripted. The defense is kind of trying to get in the flow of the game. They're being hit from a bunch of different angles because of the script, so they don't have no feel at that point for like what's being trying to be done to them at that point. And that does happen, but obviously they settled in very nicely after that. And this 49ers defense, team speed, size, physicality.
You said could be the best in the NFL. Team speed.
Yes, team speed is definitely up there. Physicality is up there. I mean, it's them and the Patriots for the best defense in the sport right now.
Wow.
And I would say they have an advantage as far as the front seven goes. The Patriots have a better secondary, but the 49ers secondary, not bad either.
Well, here's the thing, too, with D Ford.
Yeah.
He had a sack and a half, forced a fumble.
Right.
Played 42% of the snaps. He's been hurt a little bit. He's had some injuries that he said he dealt with last year.
Right.
But the thing is, last year in 12 of the 16 games, he played 89% of the snaps in 12 of the 16 games.
Right.
This year, he's played over 50% of snaps just one time. He has not been on the field a whole lot. I haven't needed him, but he really, he was a big free agent sign.
Yep.
He hasn't been 100%, and the defense still dominates.
They still dominate. I mean, he doesn't start. I mean, that just tells you how good they are. I mean, hey, we're paying you, $15 million a year or whatever they're paying them, and we don't even need you to start.
Yeah.
Just stay fresh for when they have to pass, and we know it. You're going to come off the edge like you're on fire, and you're going to get after the quarterback. But, they have Armstead, Buckner, the DJ Jones kid. They start him at D tackle next to Buckner, and they put Armstead outside, and then Nick Bosa on the other edge, who's phenomenal already. I mean, Nick Bosa's phenomenal. And he really is.
Yeah, you have Bosa here and you have Ford, and you say that the O-line for the Rams was worried about the speed rush, susceptible to the power rush.
Yeah, well, that's what happens with those guys a lot of the time. Nick Bosa and D Ford have tremendous power for guys that are, what do I want to say, boxed up into a smaller package maybe compared to some other defensive ends. Yeah. But what happens with speed rushers, and just imagine you're an offensive tackle. You're going, oh, my gosh, I got to get back. He's going to beat me around the edge. And then all of a sudden, when that guy just sees you like working so hard to get back there and get fast, he puts his foot in the ground. He goes, "I'm going to drive my head right into this guy's chest," and all of a sudden the offensive lineman's like, "Oh," and he gets driven back into the quarterback. And there was a lot of that in the game by all the positions in the Rams' offensive line.
And so you think the defensive line, the defensive pass rush for the 49ers, very good.
Yes.
Secondary, you said very good, complimentary. You said if there's one guy you would attack for the 49ers in their secondary, it is
Richard Sherman. It is, yes. I mean, and again, I have great respect for Richard Sherman. I mean, this is an all-time great. I mean, he might be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done as far as Richard Sherman. You know, the other kid, Mosley, 41, the kid out of Tennessee they have, he's pretty damn good in man-to-man coverage. Richard Sherman's not the type of corner that's going to get in your face and play man-to-man. He likes to play off, and those are some of the out routes and things I was saying. If I was going to attack anybody, or the weakness of the 49ers defense is you can throw some balls outside the numbers. I was going to say phone numbers.
Yeah.
Outside the numbers. And yes, if you gave me my choice of which guy to attack, it would be Richard Sherman. You know, even you saw it at the end of the game, Jared Goff missed like a kind of a double move down the sideline. He's got him. You know, Richard Sherman's kind of trying to read the play, and he sees a guy in the slot, and the guy just runs right by him. But, yeah, I do think that's one area where you can attack the 49ers a little bit.
You were complimentary of Jimmy Ward, who had a broken collarbone in the offseason, then broke a finger. So he hasn't played a whole lot. He's just coming back.
Baller.
You really liked him.
I mean, he's a baller. He's one of those safety corner hybrids. Like, he's a phenomenal tackler. He's phenomenal in, like, short, coverage situations. He had the big fourth down stop where he broke up a pass. But really, even to all those, the credit goes, the D-line, we talked about how special that is. But in some of those, drop back pass scenarios too, Robert Saleh and the 49ers, what they did on the defensive side, they were all over some of McVay's concepts. I mean, all over. And even on that fourth down, they're playing man-to-man. But Jimmy Ward's all over it too because he's been taught what to look for. Ooh, when they get in this formation and they're in this short yard situation, they like to do this, which gives them a great advantage to be able to jump routes and make it contested. That's how, New England and the Detroit Lions play man-to-man because they're taught so well about the route concepts of what the other team's doing. They feel like they have a good feel, and that, of course, is a great advantage when it comes down to man-to-man.
Said play action had no effect on the 49ers. They didn't respect the run game.
No, because the front four could just steamroll people.
They could handle it.
So the linebackers kind of just said, they weren't up there like at the line of scrimmage. Oh, he looks like he's going to run it. We're just going to kind of sit here. Oh, he did run it. We'll get in there. But yeah, some of the play action, none of it was good. One of the things that is, they need more concepts. They need more. McVay needs to do more on the offensive side of the ball. There's just no other way I can say it. Because when their run game doesn't work, and Sean McVay is amazing to me. He's a phenomenal head coach. But when their run game doesn't work, they are limited. They don't, their plays, I don't look at it and go, oh my gosh, these are some of the greatest things I've ever seen. Yeah. Really what they do is they want to run the ball, and then how he packages it off of it is what makes him special. You've probably heard me say this before, but hey, we're gonna run the ball. We're gonna run the outside zone. Oh, here comes a speed sweep. So the outside zone, the teams can't be too aggressive on the outside zone. And then that gives us the cutback lane. Okay, now we're gonna run the outside, we're gonna fake the speed sweep. And then run the outside zone. Okay, then we got that. Then they, fake the speed sweep, fake the outside zone, play action pass. And then it's fake the speed sweep, fake the outside zone, screen pass. And they just have all these things they can do off of it. But when one of those phases doesn't work, they are a little handicapped. And I do think McVay has to kind of expand his tree. If you look at the 49ers offense compared to the Rams offense, there's a lot more versatility in Shanahan's offense as compared to McVay.
So let's do that. If Sean McVay struggles here, all his friends who got jobs, they go down too. That affects them. In Cincinnati and Green Bay, it's just like all of a sudden they're on notice.
Well, I mean, if you look at those offenses right now, I don't think any of them, I look at them and go, oh, they're reinventing the wheel in the passing world.
A good point.
They're not. They're not. They have a lot of great core principles, and, their offenses are sound, but I don't look at it and go like, oh, this is Josh McDaniels or Sean Payton or Kyle Shanahan, and they're doing shit like, I don't even know what the hell this is, but it's cool and people are open. Those three I just mentioned there, I think, are even in their own little class by themselves.
The new thing will be all of Robert Saleh's friends will get jobs in the NFL.
Well, including him, exactly right.
Okay, so let's go over to the. Are we good there with?
Yeah, I think we hit it all. Yep, right.
So let's go over to the 49ers O, Rams D. 49ers did enough. George Kittle was a star again, 8 catches, 103 yards. That running game didn't go off like it did against the Browns, but still was able to kind of control some things. Offensively, they weren't great. There's no numbers that jump out at you. They do have injuries there on the offensive line.
Yes, that's an issue.
Kyle Juszczyk was out.
Yeah, those are big.
That's going to hurt them.
Yeah. The Rams D is good. I mean, their front can ruin games too, and they did. I mean, they played phenomenal. You know, and again, even with the 20-7 victory, let's take this into this game is 7-7, and the Rams are 3rd and goal on the 1-yard line, and you're gonna go, damn, they're gonna go up 14-7, even though it hasn't been pretty. Here we are, they're gonna slug it out and get it in there, and of course that D line of the 49ers said, no, you're not. So you know, I'm not giving up on the Rams. There's a lot of things to still like about this football team. I think the big thing I would take away from that side of the ball is, you know, it was hard work for the 49ers all day long. It wasn't like people were wide open or this or that. But I just think between, you know, the defense and then they sustained some drives where it kept the Rams offense on. It might have been ugly, but the 49ers, you know, they chewed up some clock. And Kyle had a lot of different little creative ways to move the ball and do things. And really, ultimately, I thought it was Kyle's just ability to game plan a few more plays on the offensive side of the ball as compared to Sean that then wins the football game for the 49ers.
So here's the $1 million question,
Yeah.
or the $120 million question, whatever they paid Jimmy Garoppolo. And,
Yeah.
and this was during the game, and I've got a lot of people that follow me in the Bay Area because I was out there for 6 years, and so I sent a tweet during the game. And normally I'm not controversial, and normally people agree with me because I've
Right, you don't even swear.
Lukewarm takes that you really can't disagree with. But there was one point in the game.
Yeah.
It was when Jimmy threw the
interception in the end zone.
It was not the interception.
No,
it was not the
interception.
interception.
That was horrible.
That was
right.
bad.
Yes.
It was when he had Tevin Coleman wide open coming out of the backfield.
Right.
And just threw it upfield. I don't know if Tevin turned the wrong way or if Jimmy.
Oh, the one where they should have scored a touchdown.
Should have scored a touchdown. He was wide open.
Right.
I tweeted out, Jimmy G, period, there are concerns. And I got a lot of responses from people saying, no, he's not the problem. That was a bad, Tevin Coleman should have caught that ball. He turned the wrong way. He's been great. He's been carrying him on this drive, which some of that might be true. But there do seem, but when I'm watching Jimmy Garoppolo, there are concerns for me. But what do you think?
Well, I agree with you. I mean, listen, if you had to give me the two biggest concerns for the San Francisco 49ers, okay, and there's not a lot because the 49ers are arguably the best team in football. I mean, so let's just get that straight. And Jimmy Garoppolo's done a real good job. I know what you mean. You're not like trying to say he's horrible or he sucks.
Right.
You're just saying to this point, he hasn't had to have a game where he's got to carry the squad or be that guy where you just go, man.
And I don't know that he
I don't know if he is either. I think that's a big question. The throw you're talking about to Tevin Coleman.
Yeah.
Could Tevin Coleman catch it? Yes. But any coach, including Kyle Shanahan, I promise you what he's going to say, because this is a running back. You got to put the ball on him. You can't throw the ball like this in front of a running back. He is a running back, not a receiver who receives the ball as in catching it.
And he was wide open.
He was wide open. And Jimmy Garoppolo's mechanics go into that. He kind of just keeps his feet still, and he just throws it all arm, and he doesn't put the ball on the money there. The interception on the 1-yard line, just stupid. I don't know what else to say. He is he did good things, so I don't want to take this away.
Yeah.
He moved in the pocket a few times and made some really good throws. But, hey, he got Marquise Goodwin down the left sideline on that trick play they ran, the little flea flicker. I mean, that should have been a walk-in touchdown. He underthrew it by 15 yards. So Marquise Goodwin had to stop, and as he's catching the ball, he's about to get hit. He drops it. Should he have caught that? Definitely. But, I'm holding them to a standard. Right now the 49ers are in a very elite class in the NFL. And I'm just going okay, hey, the 49ers, and I know it's still all a work in progress, but I'm trying to say, hey, if they want to be the number 1 seed, if they want to beat the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl, right? These are the kind of things we need to see kind of just clean up. They're not gigantic right now. The 49ers have a great defense. They have a great run game. They have a creative offensive play caller. And yes, there hasn't been that game yet where all that stuff hasn't worked. And then Jimmy Garoppolo's got to carry the squad. And maybe it doesn't happen this year. Maybe they're that good that they don't have to worry about it. But my money would say at some point it is going to happen. And he's going to have to deliver. And it is kind of unproven to this point. So you're not that far off, Slugger.
So thank you. Thank you for saying that.
You're welcome.
I was feeling self-conscious because whenever you send the tweet and you get 20 responses within a minute that are all disagreeing with you.
The Twitterverse disagreed with you.
It made me feel
the guy who's probably not even watching the game and sipping on pina coladas by the ocean is telling you you're wrong while you're watching it.
Okay, and you're big. You have 3 stars by it, and you said it already. Yeah. Kyle Shanahan's just more creative than Sean McVay. So in the coaching rankings right now, you would put Kyle Shanahan above Sean McVay.
As an offensive play caller, certainly. Am I ready to say that as a head coach? No. I mean, Sean McVay is special. But as an offensive play caller, I've always said that. Yes. Again, Kyle's the teacher. McVay is the student. McVay worked for Shanahan in Washington.
Yeah.
You got to go back, anybody out there. You got to look at Kyle Shanahan's resume. It's a little more impressive than I think people give it credit for. It really is. When you go back to his days in Houston, he had top 5 offenses there. Okay. Then he went to Washington, and they did some special things. And you've heard me say they invented an offense around RG3 that we had never really seen before. He went to the Browns for a year, and there was nobody on that offense, and they were kind of like middle of the NFL. Okay. Then he goes to Atlanta and sets records.
It's funny, he went to the Browns and they were average.
Right.
Whoa.
And the 49ers haven't won games his first 2 years until this year. But no one's panicked because everyone watches the 49ers and go, man, they're kind of fun to watch.
Totally.
Yeah, they lost, but, we're putting up points and making up big plays. And
they won with Nick Mullins. They won with Nick Mullins
right,
last
and
year.
C.J. Beathard.
Yeah.
And that's not easy to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that good?
I think we hit all the major things. I think we really did. I was encouraged by the Rams, nonetheless, more than I thought after the game. What'd you do?
I'm throwing away I thought we were done with it. No, I just
No, you're good. Okay. No, you're good. I'm just saying, I'm not sitting here going, oh my gosh, the world's falling for the Rams. The Rams are still a good football team. McVay's still a great coach. Jared Goff was tough. And then, like I said, this game was there to be very close if they don't get stopped on a 3rd and 1 and a 4th and 1 from the 1 yard line.
Goff under pressure was not great. Tied for the 2nd worst quarterback rating of any quarterback under pressure this week.
Yeah, that's okay. Damn, I don't care. Like I said, I don't care who you were. That was real pressure. That was like pocket collapsing. I'm about to get hit by Mack trucks as I'm throwing the football. And I'd challenge anybody. Go stand in there and see how accurate you are throwing the football when 2 tree trunks are about to smash you.
No, thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
No, thank you.
Right.
Okay. All right. That was good. The deep dive.
The deep
Let's
dive.
go through a couple other games.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll give you a headline for some of these games.
Okay. I like it.
That I looked at. And let's go to the Seahawks because they're in the division with the 49ers. And you said that the 49ers might be the class of the NFC.
Yeah.
My headline for the Seahawks victory over the Browns: Seahawks once again show they're the NFC's best. I've got the Seahawks over the 49ers right now.
I'm not mad at you.
Even though they have a loss.
Yeah.
I just think they have the defense forced 4 turnovers.
Yes.
Even after Cleveland got out to a torrid
20-6 start, right?
And then after the 3 touchdowns, Cleveland went block, punt, interception, end to half, fumble. They got Russell Wilson with the Seahawks.
That's right.
Probably leading in MVP. Last I checked, it was Mahomes still.
No, he's taking the lead now.
Is it now Russell Wilson?
I think so, right?
It might be. It might be Christian McCaffrey over Mahomes.
Well, he's in that combo for sure. I think Watson, Mahomes, Wilson, McCaffrey, I think those are the 4 leaders in the clubhouse right now, and I would say Wilson is in the lead.
And you're doing this without 2 of your starters on the offensive line, the Seahawks were.
Right.
And they're running the ball still. 24 for 124 for Chris Carson, who I found out came into the week with the 2nd most rushing first downs of any running back.
Right.
So as good as Russell Wilson's been, they've used Chris Carson to move the change more than basically any other back in the NFL. And so the more I looked at it, the more I was like, Seahawks are the best team.
Listen, I'm not mad at you for that comment. I'm not like, oh my gosh, you're so stupid on it. How could you say that?
I would leave if you did that.
They lost at home in a game where they had some crazy turnovers and had a punt return against them. They lost in a fashion which we don't really see the Seahawks lose by very often over the Pete Carroll era. So it's almost an outlier in itself.
Yeah.
They could very easily be 6-0. I'm with you. Even with all those things that happened, they had chances to come back and win that football game against the Saints. Again, like we'll talk about with most of the great teams in the NFL, and this is where it worries me about the Rams because I don't think their O-line is great, and that scares me. But the great teams in football, the one thing we're seeing right now, whether it's the Patriots, the Seahawks, the 49ers here we're talking about, and who else am I talking? Green Bay Packers, okay? They're a 1-loss football team. Even Dallas, okay? The New Orleans Saints, certainly. They can win the battles up front or at least not lose battles up front egregiously against any team in football. And to me, that's where the game always starts, right there. And Seattle, they're getting Jaron Reed back this week. Okay, and Ezekiel Elliott and Jadeveon Clowney, I'm telling you, they're still just rounded into shape. I mean, Ezekiel Elliott didn't play football last year, really. Jadeveon Clowney didn't do crap during training camp. So they're just hitting their stride. And now you got Jerron Reed coming back, who's one of the best D tackles in football. Yeah, you know, it just shows you once again in that game, and I don't even mean to spend this much time, I'm sorry, but this was a fun game yesterday. It shows you one team with, like, battle-tested championship pedigree. We're not going to panic. We're down 20-6. And there's another team that's like, we're up 20-6. Yeah. We're up 26. Oh, my gosh, what do we do? Oh, this is the ball. Oh, gosh, we're going to fumble and intercept it now. Let you back in. I mean, there's just some, you know, stupid mistakes by Baker Mayfield. Nick Chubb fumbles. You know, maybe a bad call on the fumble by Jarvis Landry. Okay, but then the next play, you know, they don't get in on a 4th and goal from the one. You know, there's little things like that where.
So where one team is
the Seahawks get in.
The Seahawks feel like, okay, we're going to make this play. How are we going to win this game?
Exactly.
And the Browns are like, okay, how are we?
I hope
how do we not lose this game?
Yeah, it's different.
What do you think? Baker Mayfield now leading the NFL with 11 interceptions, had 3 more in the game.
Yes.
There's issues. I mean, he looked so good at the end of last year.
Yeah.
It's kind of a head scratcher. What happened so far this year with him?
Well, he's been more errant with throws. I think yesterday I was encouraged by things I saw. I mean, Matt Casey, as me and him were sitting next to each other, there was a lot of times where we looked at each other, right, and we were like, oh, look, he stayed in the pocket. Like, he wanted to leave, and he was just like, oh, wait, coach told me to stay in here, and then he made some good throws. You know, there were some things to be really encouraged about.
Or he made a good tackle after the interception.
Well, but yes, the interceptions, like, hey, the one in the end zone, you know, hey, trying to fit it in there, kind of off target, the one at the end of the game, just like we talked about with Jimmy Garoppolo a minute ago missing Tevin Coleman.
Yeah.
He's thrown to a running back. You can't throw the ball 3 feet behind the running back. You just can't. Like, John Gruden would have blamed me 100 out of 100 times if I threw a ball like that to Michael Pittman or Cadillac Williams or Mike Allstott. They're running backs. You got to put it on their numbers. You got to put it right beneath their chin every time. So, yeah, that goes on to him definitely. You know, hey, they ran the ball. There was a lot of things to take away from that football game. But they just played a team that's damn good and fearless. And they have, you know, you could argue that Russell Wilson's the best quarterback in football. I don't, like, if somebody said, like, Russell Wilson's better than Patrick Mahomes, I wouldn't go, you're insane.
Yeah.
I get it.
He looks like it. I mean,
he's special.
And I think all these years of learning the offense, learning what defenses do, and it just seems like it's automatic. It's become automatic for Russell Wilson.
And then he's like, you know, whether he talks to God or whatever, I mean, I know he's got a lifeline with him, whatever, but he's never fazed by any situations.
No, he's not.
You know, it just doesn't matter. It just, no matter what it is, oh, we're down by 14. Oh, we got to drive down to win a game-winning touchdown here. No problem.
Yeah.
I'll scramble. I'll make some great throws. I mean, they are dangerous, the Seahawks.
Good team.
And I think they got maybe as dangerous of weapons on the outside as I've ever seen them have, really.
You know what I got to say to that?
What do you got?
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. And because you brought up the Saints, and because I think they are in the conversation for NFC's best team, they got the win over the Jaguars. 13-6 was the final score.
Right.
Teddy Bridgewater wins his 4th straight start, but my headline for this one would be same as it ever was, because they started the year last year 5-1. This year, no Drew Brees, no difference. 5-1.
Oh. But there was an ex-quarterback out there that thought Drew Brees was the 2nd best quarterback in football, and Tom Brady was 1 and 2. Looks like my rankings were closer.
I don't want to call that quarterback out, but his initials were KW.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm going to call him out a little. He's going to have to take it. He trolled me passive-aggressively, so he's going to have to deal with this for a little bit. And a lot of his background was like, oh, I'm about wins. Okay, so is Teddy Bridgewater one of the 5 best quarterbacks in football? Because he's winning. Yeah. He's undefeated. In fact, their one loss is when Drew Brees was starting. No, I know he got hurt. That's not really fair. But the Saints, just like the teams we've talked about so far, you know, they are a phenomenal D-line. Their O-line can handle any defense in football. They can play a multitude of style of football games, right?
Yeah.
You know, oh, we got to get in the shootout with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Zing, zing, zing. Okay, no problem. Oh, we got to play Jacksonville and play like Smash Mouth. No problem. We'll hang in there. I thought Teddy Bridgewater just adapting properly to each game has really been the thing, like not being careless, just knowing he's playing Jacksonville. Oh, our defense is good. We can slow them down. You know, I'm gonna play it close to the vest and play conservative. That's part of being a quarterback. And you know, again, like if Drew Brees is playing, I don't like sit there and go, oh, they would have won like 27-6. No, they would have been 13-6.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really doubt that. You know, maybe it would have been 16-6. I don't know, but I'm just saying. it's not going to be that big of a difference. The Rams, I mean, the Saints are really good, and I know I said this last week, but I'm just really impressed with their defense. It's changed ever since the Dallas game. They've stopped being so aggressive in the secondary, and I think it's really going to go a long, long way for them.
They've stopped being aggressive everywhere, because I was looking at this stat. Blitzes in the NFL, Saints came into the week with the fewest blitzes in the NFL.
Good. That's the way they should play. They got a special front four. We talk about, like, every year about, like, oh, that team could get there with the front four. They have those kind of guys. They can push the pocket. They can rush off the edge. You know, their front four, you know, just like we were talking about with the 49ers, they can stop the run kind of all by themselves.
Yeah.
And it's certainly one of the strengths of their football team.
You were undefeated in your picks. Guess who else was undefeated in his pick in this game? The Pope. Pope Francis. Did you see that?
Yeah, the Pope is a nice guy.
So here's what he did. He tweeted about the new Saints. We're reading it if you're watching on YouTube here. Today we give thanks to the Lord for our new #Saints, and then you get the little Saints logo there. What is it? Fleur de lis?
Fleur de lis, yes.
Fleur de lis.
Yes.
I don't think he meant to do that, but
now the NFL, everybody knows him.
It was a good omen.
Yeah.
And they won. And Teddy Bridgewater, game manager, doing exactly what they want him to do. Second lowest bad throw percentage in the NFL, according to Pro Football Reference.
Well, there you go.
He's doing what he's not making mistakes.
Accurate. He's not making mistakes. He's not like trying to do too much. Oh, the pocket's collapsing. He'll take the sack. You know, sometimes you got to punt. The other team's got professionals too, so you're not going to win every play in the NFL. And his approach has really been right. I think the genius of what has gone on there is this: when you have a team that is a Super Bowl team, you don't risk it and have a shitty backup quarterback. And them having to pay him, you know, to be the most expensive backup quarterback in football was one of the moves of the offseason. Because they knew we have a Super Bowl team and we got a quarterback that's about to be 40. And if he goes down, what's going to happen? Are we going to just fall off the earth? No, let's sign Teddy Bridgewater so we don't fall off the earth. And there they are sitting here at are they 5-1 or 6-1?
5-1.
Yeah, 5-1.
5-1 Saints. One more headline before we get to our second deep dive.
Headliner.
Texans and Chiefs. And this headline for Panthers-Buccaneers. What do you think of this? Panthers won 37-26. My headline for this game, Panthers D makes Kyle Allen the story once again. So, you know, because the defense is so good, Kyle Allen winning his fourth straight start, just like Teddy Bridgewater, was the story because that defense is so good.
He is he's doing a great job, but you're right, it does. It starts with the defense and Christian McCaffrey. I mean, that's where it starts. And yesterday, again, you know,
McCaffrey didn't have gaudy numbers yesterday.
But where I give them credit, and I say this a lot with like Sean Payton or John Gruden, the attempts for running the football are almost as important as the actual yards themselves. And just because they couldn't run the ball yesterday, they continued to run it to help the pass game. So Kyle Allen can make a play downfield every now and then to DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel. But again, here's Kyle Allen, another guy who's just playing the right way. You know, he knows he's got a good defense. He knows he's got a run game. And he's not trying to reinvent the wheel every quarter to go like, oh, look, I'm Deshaun Watson. I'm awesome too. No, he knows who he is as a player. People are open. He throws it in there and hits strikes. You know, if it's dicey or whatever else, he'll take a sack, throw the ball away. I mean, I just think he's doing a great job. And that defense is special. There's no other way to say it.
They had 7 takeaways. They had 5 interceptions on Jameis Winston, 7 sacks on Winston. Former Bucs lineman Gerald McCoy had 2.5 sacks himself.
Yeah,
calling out what they do. He was helping them. He was scouting too. Panthers' aggressive defense came into the week with the most blitzes in the NFL. They just get after. They get after. So Jameis Winston did not have a good game. Not a lot of quarterbacks are going to have a good game against that defense.
No, they can make you look ugly. And, you know, I know everyone's going to sit here and, like, bag on Jameis Winston, too. And I'm going to say this. And I have maybe a little soft spot in my heart for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they drafted me and I played there. And maybe I am a little biased here.
That ship out there in the crowd.
Yeah, that ship. Cool. Right. Yo-ho, the pirate's life for me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yes. I mean, but, you know, yeah, he threw 5 interceptions. All right, one thing is I really respect this about Jameis Winston. He goes down swinging. He's not going to like, oh, we're down by 15 and I'm just going to tuck into a shell and throw the check down every now and then so nobody can get on me. He was still trying to win the game, so he was aggressive. The other thing is, go back and look at some of the interceptions. I mean, the fumbles, I got no excuse for him. I mean, some of that, like, you can't hold the ball for 27 seconds and dodge 7 guys and not think defensive linemen are going to, like, hit you from behind at some point.
Sure.
That's just inexcusable. But the interceptions, Ahmed, I mean, damn. I mean, he was under duress. Out of the 5, I mean, 3 of them he's getting hit as he's throwing the football. And they didn't pass protect well. And you talked about the blitz, plus they have talent and they got big guys. That Panthers defensive line's real, and they got great linebackers and a sneaky good secondary, and they're really well coached.
Panthers had 10 quarterback hits in the game.
Jeez.
Jameis has taken more. So here's what I'm thinking.
So there you go. I love when you back me up with my stuff from what I see, and I don't know the numbers.
If it didn't back you up, I would just scratch it out and not write it. But so here, a lot of people assume that the union between Bruce Arians and Jameis Winston was a good one.
Yeah.
A match. I'm going to say a jury's still out. I mean, maybe it's not a match because you've talked about Bruce Arians and how the quarterbacks
get hit too much.
They get hit. I mean, he's been hit more than any other quarterback in the league.
Yep.
He has the second longest depth of target in the NFL.
There you go. So he's being asked to throw big passes down the field.
Hold on to it long, throw it deep downfield. That's what they're asking him to do. And there's been some big games for him, but there's also been games like we saw yesterday.
Yeah, no, there was. It was just, it kind of all, came to a pinnacle as far as disaster is concerned yesterday. But, yeah, I mean, those are things to recognize. Context does matter. It does, and especially when you're playing quarterback and it comes to football and all these variables that you're talking about. And, yeah, I mean, it's one of the things I think Bruce Arians, if he wants, and Byron Leftwich, if he wants to be a head coach, you just can't do that to your quarterback this day and age. He can't be just getting lambasted. You can't be like, hey, quarterback, put on weight every offseason because, we're going to get you killed in there, and we want you to throw it 30 yards down the field every play. There's got to be a little give and take there in that relationship. But really, since week 1, Jameis Winston has played really well. Yesterday, it fell off. But when you go to the Panthers game, hey, the Giants game, he did everything they could do in the world to win that game. I mean, Bruce Arians and the mistake at the end and them getting the penalty and missing the field goal, I mean, that's not Jameis Winston's fault.
No.
Then he goes out and torches the Rams. He didn't do bad against the Saints either last week. That was a tight football game. And, of course, the Saints are good. And then yesterday, it kind of all crumbled a little bit. But I don't sit there and just go, Jameis Winston was a total disaster. I think you got to look at some of those plays and turnovers to really feel for it.
And to put a bow on it, I thought Chris Godwin was good again, 10 catches, 151 yards. He's a real weapon with Mike Evans there for the Bucs.
I'm pretty sure, Chris Godwin's leading the NFL in yards right now. That says something. Yeah, I don't know what any other way to say it. Now, a lot goes into the offense, and a lot goes to Jameis Winston there, too, because he's willing to throw it down the field a little bit. But, yeah, Godwin is 662 yards, total receiving yards right now. That's 30 yards in front of Michael Thomas. He's got a 15.4 yard per catch average. He's damn good. And you know what else is crazy?
Huh.
If Mike Evans catches the bomb before the half was over, that game's going to be a game. You're going, watch out. Like, this could get interesting. He drops that. He didn't have his best day yesterday either.
Okay, all right. Panthers get the win.
I like you doing the headlines. I like it better.
You like when I throw the headline?
I like it better,
Okay, all right, we'll do that.
Yeah, I'm not a headline guy.
So
I'm
that way
I'm a meat and potato guy.
You can say I like it or that was dumb.
Yeah,
you're the arbiter. You're the judge of the headline.
Okay, good. I like that.
You want to go deep dive?
Yeah, you want to get into it?
Okay, let's go deep dive. But first, before we get into it, let's hear from the quarterbacks. We got Texans Chiefs. We got Deshaun Watson versus Patrick Mahomes. Here's what they were saying afterwards.
We never got discouraged. We kept fighting. We kept pushing. We kept encouraging. And that's the biggest part about this locker room. Everyone, is always fighting to the end, regardless of what the score is saying. We kind of don't even look at the scoreboard. We, play 60 minutes, and we play every play. And then towards the end of the game, that's when we kind of look at the scoreboard and see what's going on.
Yeah, if I felt like my ankle was affecting the team and the success of the offense, I would for sure move on. But at the same time, I feel like I'm still moving around. I'm still able to run, scramble, throw, and we just haven't executed at a high enough success rate as an offense.
Deep dive, Chiefs, Texans. So you heard Patrick Mahomes. You want to start with the Chiefs O versus the Texans D then?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
So
first of all, I like Deshaun Watson's outfit if you're watching on YouTube. Lumberjack look.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, maybe he's
rugged.
Like he's digging for gold because he got a lot of gold on his necklace too.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah,
it's a good look. Good. You pull back the hat a little bit so you can
see the waves on the hairline. Good, yeah.
That's a good call. And then Patrick Mahomes too. I mean, like my voice is a little weird today. It feels like his voice is different this year than it was last year. Remember how everyone made a big deal about his voice?
Kermit the Frog voice?
Yeah, I feel like it's not that.
He's trying to talk more like this year and have like a little from the diaphragm because he doesn't want to sound, like that.
Maybe I'm just more used to it, but I feel like he talks.
He's less Kermit the Frog.
He's less Kermity this year.
Go back to the way you were.
Less Kermity, more hobbly, though, because he does have that ankle injury. So he doesn't think it's been affecting him. He threw 3 more touchdowns here, but he's clearly not as mobile as he would be if he didn't have that injury.
No, and not the mobility. The offensive line's not playing great right now as far as pass protection is concerned. They don't run the ball, as you know.
Yeah, we've done deep dives on them. I feel like the last couple of weeks.
Well, people are obsessed with it. I get it.
Is there anything that was different in this game than you've seen the last couple of games with them? Because we've heard. Obviously they didn't have the running game.
No,
offensive line hasn't been good.
Right.
Were there any other red flags or improvements than the last couple of weeks?
Well, he's still amazing. I mean, we know that. I mean, this is really a really special player. I will say this. There were some off-target throws where I felt like there was a few throws in the game, more than a few. I wouldn't say it if it was just like 2 or 3. I felt like there was, 8, 10 throws where he didn't step into throws. You've heard me say, like, if you're standing on a clock, right, and you're going to throw a football and you want to throw the ball at 11 o'clock, man, does he step at 9 and 8:30 a whole lot. And that's not always going to lead to, on-target throws or uncork all of his power that's available to him in that special arm. Now, he's special, but I think the big thing at the end of the day, more than anything with their offense, is I'm going to go back to it. The offense is built on players. It's built on his ability to, I got Watkins or Hill one-on-one, and they got a step, and I'm going to throw the rifle, or I'm going to throw the bomb, and we're going to put it on target. That's what they are. That's what they're built to do. And Tyreek Hill, he didn't play a ton in the game yesterday. They limited his snaps. He had an effect, of course, and certainly with that first touchdown.
He's really good. I mean, like you think about it, and you think about, okay, he's a burner. Right. He can just get separation, and the dude has a vertical leap that's insane on that first touchdown.
You think he can dunk?
yeah, with his head maybe.
I mean, yeah, he can.
That first touchdown he caught, it just like he out-jumped. I mean,
he was 4 feet in the air. His feet were 4 feet off the ground.
Justin Reed was there. He was sitting there. He was in perfect position, and Tyreek just jumped over him and took the ball from him.
Yes.
So he obviously, I mean, it's one of those things we were talking about with the Cowboys. It's like when you don't have him, of course you're going to be a little rough offensively. You're going to struggle to make plays.
Definitely. And hey, they got him back. That's great, but they're still missing another key part. And that's Sammy Watkins. We can't forget that. And then they're missing their first pick of the NFL draft, Eric Fisher at left tackle. So they got little issues in that alone, let alone, and we'll get to the other side of the ball. Their defense isn't helping them out, and we'll get into that conversation. I mean, it's hard to be a really good offense when you only have 3 plays in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's how many plays he had in the fourth quarter. He played crazy. 3 plays. Am I right about that? Maybe it was 4.
No, I think they only had like 2 drives in the second half.
It was 3 drives in the second half.
3 drives in the second half.
3 drives in the second half, and I'm not even, the fourth quarter. I mean, just so you know, the Texans had the ball for 13 minutes and 35 seconds. That means there's 1 minute and 25 seconds left over for the greatest quarterback in the league right now. So
you barely had the ball. You still lost only by a touchdown.
Yeah, that's
31-24.
Right. It's a team sport, and that can affect you from that aspect. And I think the big thing is this, though. This is the 3rd week in a row we've seen man-to-man coverage just across the board.
Yeah.
Okay. There's just not enough being done to beat it. They're a little too predictable. I see a few too many of the same play, same call, too much, in my opinion. Okay. And, hey, maybe you can get away with it if Sammy Watkins is healthy and everything like that. I get it. But, teams are comfortable playing man-to-man against them right now because they're going, we got a good feel for what they're doing. So let's play them man-to-man and make it contested. And, we'll cheat the safety towards a Tyreek Hill like they did yesterday a little bit in certain situations. So he just gets a little scared to throw it there. And then you try to go find somebody else. Yeah, DeMarcus Robinson's good. We know that. But still at the same time, Hardman's good and he's got potential, but he's not like special yet. And I really think it's a little bit of the predictability of the offense more that's affecting them more than anything right now.
And it's a little nitpicky, right? Because I think it's still a top 5
I think it's even more than that.
So,
you're right.
It's a little nitpicky.
No, it's number 3 in football, so you're right.
Started the game with 2 90-yard touchdown drives in the first quarter.
Exactly right.
It's their defense is making their offense look worse, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
It's just they're losing these games, and so you find areas where they're not executing offensively.
Had the big penalty, okay, right?
Yeah.
Where, the controversial, what the hell was that, which is really weird by the NFL, okay? Travis Kelce, picked up pass interference call.
So there was a lot made of that that Patrick Mahomes saw the flag.
Which he did not. Let's just set that straight right now.
You don't think he saw the flag?
Well, I know he didn't, because the guy didn't throw the flag until the ball was almost at the 5-yard line in the air. So we can end that discussion right now. Now, maybe he saw the guy being held and, hey, maybe he thought, oh, they're going to throw it on there. But he was throwing that ball to the corner no matter what. So that was an interception any way, shape, or form, okay? He was going there. The guy was supposed to run a post corner, or not a post corner. The slot guy was supposed to go to the corner and got caught up in some trash with bodies and couldn't get there, and he threw it. So he made a bad play. But nonetheless, that does not take it away that I don't know what the hell the NFL did there. I mean, okay, if it's not pass interference, I get it. You got to throw the ball to that guy for it to be pass interference. It should have been defensive holding, the very least. And that was just an awkward.
Right.
And again, we can certainly blame that play. I'm just going to say this too. I'm not going to blame the game on that play, because there was some bad calls on the other side too. There was some calls on the Texans where I went like, what? That is pitiful. So. Overall, I did not think it was a well-officiated game in general. That's what I'm just going to say. And, the Chiefs being a little one-dimensional, not being at full strength,
what did
the
Texans do well? Who stood out to you on the Texans side?
Well, the Texans are big up front, okay? So they can stop the run. They can put all their basket into, like, hey, front 4, middle linebacker, you guys worry about the run. Secondary, you guys got to stop all these speed boomers and Mahomes. And, so they have one great aspect of their defense, which allows them to put more eggs into let's stop this part of the offense basket, right? That's where they're good. And, they're actually better in the secondary than I expect them to be.
Okay.
Big blow, Bradley Roby getting hurt. I just saw that before we went on. He has done a nice job. But Reed at safety, Jaleel Adai, he's done well. Who else? I just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody else there that just jumps out to me. And Tashawn Gibson, his ability to cover tight ends and get involved there. Lonnie Johnson, a rookie who's a big corner who gave Travis Kelce, he was the guy that kind of threw Travis Kelce to the ground. Yeah. He can give some of the big receivers and big tight ends an issue. But their size and, J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt popped in some big moments of the game. Their pass rush popped in some big moments. Chiefs are up 10-3. Right? They're up. Yeah, I just want to make sure I got this right. Maybe it was 10-0. Or no, they're up 7-0. Sorry, I'm going to get this right, okay? 7-0. On the first drive, they went down and scored a touchdown. If you remember this, the Texans fumbled the first play. They had the ball. Hyde fumbled up the middle. So now the Chiefs got the ball again, and you're going to go, oh, my gosh, they're going to go up 14-0. And then, like, Deshaun Watson hasn't even thrown a ball yet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, J.J. Watt saved the day. He saved the day. He whooped Mitchell Schwartz on the right side on 2nd and 3rd down when there's going to be people open for Mahomes to throw a touchdown, and he got pressure to affect the play to where Mahomes couldn't throw them the ball and ultimately made them kick the field goal. So now instead of being down 14-0, it's only 10-0. Texans go down and get a field goal. It's 10-3. Little things like that are huge in a football game. The Texans players just made some plays, when they needed to.
All right. Does that wrap up Chiefs O versus Texans D?
I think so. We talked about a little bit of the predictability of the pass game. My big thing is they're never going to run the ball. They still have to find more man-to-man beaters. You got to find more picks, rubs, shallow crosses, all of that. And they had a lot of screens in the first half.
Yeah.
They can't invent enough screens. Listen, if they want to play, we're going to throw the ball a million miles down the field, then you got to have a million things to throw the ball short, right? So you can put the defense in a bind. Like, damn, we want to get underneath all these deep routes, but damn, they're throwing screens every other play. So they can't invent enough screens. They need to go to infinity and beyond for the screens. Do you know what movie that's from, Infinity and Beyond?
Yeah, Toy Story.
Yeah, wow, you watched a movie for the first time.
I haven't watched it, but I'm familiar with the line.
Yeah, right.
So you remember last week how it was a big deal when I put Andy Reid on notice? Remember that?
Yeah.
I don't do that lately. I put him on notice. I'm keeping him on notice.
You're keeping him on notice?
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to up his game a little bit.
He's not off notice. Yeah, I'm going to keep him on notice.
I get it. I'm there with you.
So let's go over to Texans O, Chiefs D.
Yep.
Deshaun Watson, good again. He had a couple TDs on the ground, 280 yards, 1 touchdown. This was kind of interesting. When he got the ball out quick, 2.5 seconds or less, he was 23 of 25. So it was like boom, boom, getting the ball out quick, making a lot of short passes, some intermediate areas. So the numbers look pretty good for Watson here in the Texans. What did the film look like?
Well, the film looked really damn good too. I think the Chiefs defense is not good. They have to, first off, they got to figure something out. And my advice with the Chiefs would really be like, you can't play this slow death defense. They got to figure out what they want to do. And my advice would be start
fast death.
Well, yeah, exactly. Because at least Patrick Mahomes gets to get back on the field.
It's true.
Instead of sitting over there doing nothing.
Yeah.
If all your money is in the passing game and the offense, it's not doing anything good next to the Gatorade bottles.
Yeah.
Okay? So, to me, right now they're being they're not good at anything. They're half a nothing at everything. All right? They can't stop the run. Their secondary is not bad. I look at their pass coverages, and it's not perfect, but it's not bad. They're okay. But they're being compromised because they can't stop the run. So then at times they have to do things in pass coverage where I don't think Steve Spagnuolo and Andy Reid really want to do it, but they're going, damn, it's hide up the middle for 5, hide up the middle for 5. And they're having to do things to crowd the line of scrimmage and then putting their secondary in some tough spots that way. That would be the big thing overall. But Billy O'Brien, the Texans, are tough. He always stays consistent with the run. Carlos Hyde.
116 for Carlos Hyde.
Yeah, he runs hard. And they're going to give him, the carries to continue to find that rhythm and wear people out and do that way. But the big thing is the front seven for the Chiefs, especially without Chris Jones, they're just not good. I don't know the way to say it. Defensive tackles, nothing special. Frank Clark is having a solid year, but he's being paid like he's a superstar, and he's not showing up like a superstar. Linebackers, okay. Their secondary is really the bread and butter of their defense, but they're not like the New England Patriots where you're going to just say, oh, man, I'm up and we'll figure out the rest of this stuff. No, they're not that talented. They're a good secondary, and Tyrann Mathieu's good, and the rookie Thornhill's good, and, Breeland has some issues in man-to-man coverage, and Chartavius Ward's good, and they got Morris Claiborne. They got some things there, but I would become a blitz team if I'm the Kansas City Chiefs. I would reinvent the wheel and say, we're coming. We're blitzing, and either we're going to cause havoc and get sacks and cause turnovers, or we're going to let up a 60-yard touchdown and Mahomes will be back on the field.
Yeah.
But we're not going to lose with him next to the Gatorade bottles.
Sure.
I think that really has to be the big thing overall more than anything, and that's really the issue with them. Watson is phenomenal. We know that. Played phenomenal. So deadly with some of the things he can do.
And there were some drops, too. Will Fuller, who had the great game 2 weeks ago or the week before this week.
He dropped 3 touchdown passes in the game. And I think 2 of them, or 1 of them, it didn't matter because they ended up scoring a touchdown on the drive anyways. But the other 2, I think they ended up settle for field goals. Hopkins dropped a touchdown pass over the middle. Yeah, so they didn't even click on all cylinders that way in the passing game, but did enough to get it done.
No sack for Deshaun Watson for 2 straight games now. That had been a problem for him and the Houston
Well,
Texans.
They're getting the ball out quickly, like you're saying.
Getting the ball out quick.
They're being smart there.
The Chiefs D. So last year, they gave up 405 yards per game.
Right.
Second most in the NFL.
Right.
Do you think they're giving up more or fewer yards per game this year than they were last year?
How many was it last year?
405 per game, total yards.
Gosh, damn. I know they're giving up like 160-something in the run game right now. So that means you only got to give up a little over 200 in the pass game to beat. So I'm going to go they're worse right now.
406.
Damn.
1 yard worse.
Is that right? Holy crap.
406 per game.
Yeah, that's not good. You just can't be half of nothing.
Yeah.
You got to be something. And I really think that's what they need to be. They need to Steve Spagnuolo needs to do what he did like Tom Brady and the New England Patriots, Super Bowl 42, come out with a million different blitzes, zone blitzes, man blitzes, just throw the kitchen sink at people. Maybe you cause havoc. If you don't, at least Mahomes and company are back on the field and get in some rhythm. But it's hard to win football games when the best part of your team is on the sideline for the 3rd week in a row for the majority of the game.
Pete got in my ear and he said, don't half-ass 2 things, whole-ass 1
That's
thing.
right. I like a big whole ass. That's right. I like a big whole ass. Who likes half an ass?
No, you want to do the whole ass.
I want the whole ass. Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that it? Did we cover it all
I think we did. Let me just make sure I got it all. I just want to see if there's anything Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's really it for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
Yeah.
Good. We got more podcasts.
Okay.
We're not the only podcast out there.
Oh, that's right.
We got Mike Tirico.
And we got the NHL podcast. Okay, our line starts.
No, they're Canadian. They call it a podcast.
A podcast?
Yeah. Or would that be British?
Yeah, I think that's British. You sound like I'm from London. Our line starts podcast with the knuckleheads from our NBC NHL hockey team, okay? Knuckleheads. But I mean that in a good way.
Yeah.
It's a new NHL podcast with our hockey analysts Keith Jones, Jeremy Roenick, Mike Milbury, Patrick Sharp, Pierre McGuire, all good dudes, all love the sport. I mean, they are in it. They live it. First episode was posted last week, okay? It was Jeremy Roenick and Jonesy, okay, as they call him here, Keith Jones, reacted to the latest NHL news, stories about fighting and how Ty Domi knocked out his own front teeth. Whoa,
what?
He knocked out his own front teeth.
Yeah,
Damn.
to motivate the team. He did it to motivate the team.
Did he really?
I don't know.
Oh,
I actually don't know.
That would be it. That would be him.
Is that really what he did? Just to, like before the game, like, hey guys, we're into it. I've got no teeth.
We
anymore.
will not lose. I have no teeth. Let's go. But I don't even doubt that because hockey players are
If
psycho.
you came in low energy one day on the podcast, I would think about doing that.
You would knock your teeth out?
Yeah.
No, you
just
wouldn't.
to get your energy up.
If my energy's low, just say the F word one day and then it'll get back up, okay?
Okay.
When you do that, that's when I'm going to really go through the roof.
Keep my teeth. Okay.
Pierre McGuire interview with Vegas Golden Knights president George McPhee. That'll be a good listen. But, man, if you're into hockey, I mean, these guys live it. We know the NHL and NBC, they're all over it. And certainly a good listen and some personality.
We're just getting started, too. We're just getting started with the season.
Just getting started.
Jump on board early in the year.
Yes, sir.
Let's get through the other games here.
Yep.
So I got Ravens get the win over the Bengals, 23-17. Bengals still have not won a game. Ravens 4-2 now.
Yeah.
My headline is for the Ravens, it's about to get real. So I think you win the game here. As a Bengals team, you're supposed to be. You look good. Lamar was good. 100-yard rushing game for him. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
But they've got Seattle, bye, New England, Cincinnati, but then Houston, Rams, San Francisco.
Yeah, so we're going to know what they are.
Gauntlet.
Yeah. Ravens are good. I'm not sure how good. Lamar Jackson, good thing they kept him at quarterback, okay? I mean, good thing.
Although he would probably dominate as a receiver, too. He's just that good.
He's 8th in the NFL in rushing, which is just like ludicrous, okay?
Yeah.
And he's a special runner. There's no other way to say it.
19 carries, 152 yards.
Man, I mean.
Rushing.
Yeah. They're a team that when they don't have Hollywood Brown, they lack big playability and lack speed. Overall, their team lacks speed in general. But he's the speed guy on the offense. I mean, they want to smash it up the middle, Lamar, get on the edge, make something happen. Lamar, get on the edge, make something happen. His throwing's been really good. I mean, he doesn't turn the ball over. He's pretty accurate for the most part. I am going to go back and watch that film here in the next 2 days, so I'll deep dive that from Wednesday.
Okay.
But, yeah, I'm just impressed with the way he plays the game. And, in a game like yesterday where the Bengals are not good, we know that. But no Hollywood Brown playing, that makes life hard on the Baltimore Ravens because there's no guy other than him that scares a defense. They really don't. So I just am impressed with Lamar Jackson in general. But it's another game where you look at them and you go, they just can't put teams away. They kind of let them hang around,
still a 6-point game.
Yeah, just like the Cardinals game a few weeks ago where you're like, hey, they're clearly the better team, but here we are, it's 23-17, and the Cardinals got the ball in the last drive to maybe win the game or whatever it is. And that was a little bit the way yesterday. They just couldn't put it away, and I can't give you the exact reasons why they couldn't. And that's why I need to watch the film, because the stats tell you that they should have.
Like the Bengals look like a mess. Joe Mixon, 8 carries, 10 yards. Andy Dalton had 39 passes, but still just only 235 yards.
Right.
So it wasn't like they were lighting it up.
No, not at all. The only thing I know, I saw Mark Andrews trying to hurdle somebody and the ball popped out of his hands. They had that turnover. But either way, Baltimore is going to be a pain in the butt because they are big and physical. They're one of those teams that we talk about, up front. There's no team that's going to be a mismatch for them in football. Their big thing is going to be speed teams. That's the issue for them. Like we saw against the Chiefs and things like that. When they have speed, they're a little compromised that way because they're all about size and power.
So we go from one dynamic quarterback to another, from Lamar Jackson to Devlin Hodges.
Oh, baby.
The duck call.
I'm so mad I picked the Chargers last night.
Steelers won. They got into the huge lead. They tried to blow it. The Chargers came back, but it was 24-17. My headline for this one, Chargers demoralized by away home game. I mean, there were so many Steeler fans there. And there were a lot of 49er fans in L.A. for the Rams game.
It seemed like it was 50-50 there, which was kind of shocking.
It's a chance to go to L.A. and enjoy that traffic for every away team.
Seriously.
But Steelers get the win. Yeah, it was Devlin Hodges. It is the year of the backup quarterback in the NFL, or maybe the year of the backup's backup.
Yeah, well, I could have been a backup last night, and they would have won. I could have played that game. Not to take anything away from Devlin Hodges, certainly not.
Devin Bush, there was all your offense you need.
Yeah.
He's been involved. There's been 14 turnovers this year. I'm going to give him a damn okay.
Good. He deserves one.
My first damn okay of the podcast.
Yeah, damn okay. Yeah, he's a baller.
Okay.
For a rookie middle
pick
linebacker.
Out of Michigan. Yeah, he's been involved in 6 of the 14 turnovers this year for the Steelers. Had 2 interceptions this year, 4 fumble recoveries. He's been good.
Really good.
They just very surprising, the Chargers. How they just, it seemed like, came out so flat.
I'm going to steal a phrase from my buddy Matt Casey, and they're fraudulent. They're frauds. The Chargers are not turning this around. Just get over it if you're a Chargers fan. I'm not trying to be a hater. They're not going to the playoffs this year.
You said that before the year.
I did not think they would.
You were off the bandwagon.
And I wasn't sure like a few weeks ago. I was like, oh, maybe they will. Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong, the way they were.
Yeah.
But I think I've seen enough now after 6 weeks ago. You just can't get it done for a lot of the same reasons we just talked about with the other good teams. They're overmatched up front in some games. And I said this on, Football Night in America last night. I picked the damn, Steelers, the Chargers to win 20-17. But I said as I picked it, I'm really worried about the Chargers offensive line getting steamrolled by the Steelers defensive line. The Steelers defensive line is special. Now, I haven't heard what happened. Stephon Tuitt tore his pectoral. That'll be a big thing for them going forward. Stephon Tuitt, number 91, is one of the better interior defensive linemen in the NFL. And he's, I would say, their best defensive player. He really is phenomenal. But you saw the game. Phillip Rivers, from the first snap of the game, it was like, oh, gosh, holy cow, they're all over. They're going to kill him tonight? He took some shots. They couldn't do anything because of that front. Now, I'm not sitting here to go, oh, all the Steelers' things are cured or anything like that, because if you can protect a little bit, I still think there's issues in the Steelers' secondary. But that Steelers' front, they're going to be a pain in the ass no matter who they play in football this year. And if they can just have some offense and some run game like we saw last night,
sure,
I still think they're going to be a pain in the ass for whoever they play against.
I have another damn okay from this game, but I kind of want to hear the music.
Do you?
Let's do it. Music? Because it's my favorite song.
Let's hear Slim Shady Sims.
I'm okay. Damn. I'm okay. Yeah, no, yes, I'm okay. The legal gambleizing.
Oh, baby.
I am Chris Sims. I'm okay. Damn. Okay.
Stan.
Yeah, the illegal gambleizing, although they're going to make it legal gambleizing throughout most of the country.
Yes, I'm sure they will, because it's money.
My second from this game is T.J. Watt, brother of Derek Watt. We all know him. Half a sack, 4 quarterback hits, knockdown pass. He's been, third year out of Wisconsin. He's played in all but one of the possible games for the Steelers in his career so far.
Yeah, no, they're
part of that defense.
I don't know who the hell their mom and dads are, but if you told me it's Thor and Hercules or somebody like that and Wonder Woman or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to say Thor and Hercules. I guess I should use those are 2 men together. It would be hard to have a baby that way.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to have a baby. But
you don't know in theology or if it's possible.
Oh, you're right. I guess in theology, you're right. You could just lightning can strike and you could have a baby.
Yeah, there it is.
But either way, their parents must be freaking super freaks, okay? I don't know. Are you even speaking English right now? I don't think so. But I am a master at not speaking English, so don't worry.
And when we get to the hour, 1.5 of the podcast,
yes, but your point is just. He's damn okay.
Good.
I like it.
2 more games real quick.
Yeah.
Cardinals beat the Falcons 34-33.
Yeah.
My headline, Dan Quinn took over play calling duties on defense, may want to reevaluate. That's my headline. It's a long headline, but that's what I think.
Yeah, no, I think that's a valid headline. And I think, just a damn okay. I just want to say that to Kliff Kingsbury, all right?
Okay.
This guy I doubted about whether he deserved to be hired.
Sure.
But I think he's proven that he deserved to be hired at this point. 2-3-1, okay, and I know they haven't like beat world beaters.
No.
You know, they can't control the schedule, but they've beaten two teams where we went into the games against the Bengals and the Falcons where we're like, oh, I'm not sure if they're going to win and they can do this.
And he's getting the most out of Kyler Murray.
He is.
Kyler Murray's talents are on full display.
They are on full display. And Kyler Murray, one of the things that's jumped out to me is he has stopped trying to run around the edge. But Kyler Murray's special. I mean, he can sling the ball with the best of them. And then to your point, I mean, that defense sucks. I mean, they suck.
Falcons defense.
Oh, yes, the Falcons defense. They are horrible. The Arizona Cardinals aren't a whole lot to write home about either on the defensive side of the ball.
True.
I mean, Matt Ryan was 30 for 36 for 356 and 4 touchdowns.
Cardinals the only team still without an interception this year.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Holy cow. And they'll be getting Patrick P back here pretty soon.
So I hope you took the over on Cardinals-Falcons, although 60, that probably hit the over at that.
I would think so. I mean, that's insane. But I mean, no matter what you say there, our man Kyler Murray is going to be a superstar. He's going to be a superstar. And David Johnson's still really good running back as far as what he can do running and catching the football. And, yeah, I mean, Matt Ryan's doing some good things. But they're a disaster on the defensive side of the ball.
They came back. I mean, Matt Bryant missed the extra point.
Oh, I know. My man, Matty B. I know. I played with him in Tampa.
Disappointing.
I think he's 74 years old now, so he's going to miss some field goals.
When you played with him, it was 35th year in the league. He's still around.
I felt bad for him yesterday because he is like, he lives it, and he knows, you know, he'll take it to heart. He's not going to like letting the team down, and it's going to ruin his week. Like he'll mope around and be pissed at himself all week long.
The Falcons, to me, are kind of like a guy who's been at the same job for like 30 years and is just kind of clocking in now. It kind of feels like they get into work, they're just like, hey, how's it going? You know, you show up, you play the game, you go home. It's more about the weekend now for you. You know what I mean? It kind of seems like.
If you told me that what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball, I'd go, you're right. I don't know what they're doing there. What are they doing coaching all week? It's just some versatility and all of that. And the versatility of play calls, just doesn't exist. And then, again, they're just a team that they can't survive injuries. It's one or two injuries on defense, and their team seems to fall apart.
You go from a couple of really bad defenses to our final game to talk about. That is one of the best defenses in the league with the Broncos.
Yeah.
They shut out the Titans 16-0. My headline, 4-2 Broncos improved to 2-4. So I think they lost by 2 points to the Bears, lost by 2 points to the Jags.
Right, and you could sit here and say they got screwed in both of them with some bad calls at the end of the game. I mean, those unnecessary roughness calls on the quarterback were certainly questionable. But, yeah, Vic Fangio and company are fighting. I mean, that's what you could say. And then, when Joe Flacco just doesn't throw dumb interceptions, they got a chance. I mean, they do because of the defense. The Broncos are one of those teams where you just go, if they can score 17, they got a chance to win the game.
They haven't given up a touchdown in 9 quarters.
Holy shit.
So
that just tells you a lot. I mean, when I watch them, of course, Von Miller, the kid from Florida State that I really like coming out in the draft, DeMarcus Walker, he pops a lot, okay? Chris Harris yesterday I thought was absolutely phenomenal. I'm pretty sure he got an interception. Let me just make sure he did. But just some of the tackles and plays he made in coverage, and a few times when he let up a pass, like I went, oh gosh, if this guy breaks the tackle, he's going to be like go for 50 yards, and he just slung him to the ground. But yeah, I mean, Vic Fangio, I'm rooting for him because he's been around. He's a special defensive mind, and yeah, the Titans offense. They're just not good. It's not creative, and Mariota's,
he was benched.
It's just Strugglesville there.
First interceptions of the year for Marcus Mariota, 7 of 18, 63 yards. Are we seeing the beginning of the end of Marcus Mariota in Tennessee?
I would say so. I mean, I don't see how they're going to, again, they're going to be a pain in the butt to play because they got some, they're Dean Pease and Vrabel. I think they're good coaches. Their offensive coordinator's new. He's unproven. He's trying to find his way. And Marcus Mariota is just not a pure quarterback. I've always said this. He's an athlete who plays quarterback instead of being a quarterback who's an athlete.
Sure.
There's a difference there. And, I would expect them to go to Ryan Tannehill this week and see what he has.
Okay, so if you were Mike Vrabel, they got the Chargers coming to Tennessee.
Yep.
If you had to choose A, to start Marcus Mariota, B, Ryan Tannehill, or C, none of the above, it doesn't matter.
No.
What would you pick?
I'm going Tannehill. They can beat the Chargers. They can beat them. So, And
you would go Tannehill.
I would go Tannehill. I think you need to see it. You're at a point right now where you're 2-4, and we've seen enough inconsistent play from Marcus Mariota up and down to where let's see if Tannehill can go in there and be consistent and make some plays. Tannehill was a lot better than people realize in Miami, or give him credit for it. I want to say people realize.
Couldn't stay healthy.
Couldn't stay healthy was certainly an issue. But if you look at his win-loss record, ability to hit people down the field, some of the things he did there, it's a little bit better than maybe we all perceive. And I know that me as well. I kind of deep dived into it last year a little bit and realized, maybe I'm being just a hair too critical of Ryan Tannehill. He's done more, and and again, I know Miami let some people go this year, but Miami wasn't necessarily like the greatest show on turf when he was there at quarterback. It wasn't like he was surrounded by this wealth of talent and disappointment. It was a tough situation, and they weren't a great football team. I would certainly go with Tannehill.
That's it. That's every game. We did it.
Man, I love this point on a Monday. And I'm pumped for Detroit Lions-Packers tonight.
Oh, my gosh. So we need to make a pick.
Yep.
And even though I am in my upper 30s and the Lions...
How old are you?
39.
Okay, I'm 39 too.
And the Lions have never won in Green Bay in my lifetime. That's not true, but it just seems like that.
They won last year, I'm pretty sure.
I'm going to go with Detroit.
You're going to go with Detroit?
I'm going to be a homer.
That's fine. I think this is a coin toss game. I'm scared. I'd pick the Packers to win 21-20. I'll stick with that, okay? Yeah. But this Lions team matches up with Green Bay, and that's where it's scary. I'll just say this real quick. Packers don't throw the ball. They're not real complicated what they do passing the game. It's about Rodgers and some play action fakes and get you going that way. Matt Patricia, he'll have a beat on this passing offense. So Rodgers is going to have his hands full there. They have a pretty good front in Detroit, and it sounds like they're going to be a little healthier there. I think they can slow down that Packers run game. Packers can't stop the run on the defensive side of the ball. Right. Lions, we know, have the ability to run it, and I think their offensive line is showing that they're getting better and better. And then the Packers can play play a little too much man-to-man for me. And, we know Stafford can sling it. We know Hawkinson's good. Marvin Jones can beat you deep. And Kenny Galladay is pretty damn good, too. I'm taking the Packers only because it's my favorite quarterback ever, Aaron Rodgers, that I think will pull magic out to win the football game. But I wouldn't bet money on this at home, everybody. All right. Good. Yo, you the man.
Good job, Chris.
Peace out.
It's good.
Stop swearing so much, okay?
You're right. I did one time again.
Yes.
What did I say?
What'd you say? Darn it?
No, dumbass.
Gosh darn it?
Dumbass.
Gosh dang it?
Hope they bleep that.
All right, everybody. Peace out. C. Sims saying see you later. You know where to get at me. Chris at Sims Unbuttoned on Instagram. At C. Sims QB on Twitter. All right, dudes. Be good. Enjoy the week. Wednesday, deep dive. You know it. Big Phil, the big will be on to talk football. That's what we do. See ya.
We out.
Yo, what's up? Come on, man. Subscribe on YouTube to Chris Sims Unbuttoned Podcast. I need you. Please hit the subscribe button, please.